So this week for us hasn't been the best of weeks. It also hasn't been the worst of weeks. We've had a little bit of ups and downs. We'll get into that in a little bit.
Don't forget like, share, subscribe, and Papa.
But the bugs have started to come out. I just saw my first I just saw my first dragonfly. So I'm super excited because once you see one, you just start to see them in drones, and they'll come and kill all the bugs. And we need it. We need the dragonflies here like yesterday. So Mike is working on a loft. I know, buddies. They're working. What's this for?
This will be our hay storage slash extra food storage. Possibly even kitty house once we get the kitty out here. Right now I realized that I just came out farther than I wanted. It seemed like it would be more space when I just had it in numbers rather than seeing it. So I made a create work project. So what I'm doing is I'm bracing up all my boards so they're all attached. I've put a post in to hold all the weight, and then I'm going to take down these, which are holding all the boards kind of in place right now.
Okay.
And I'm going to cut them all down to here.
Well, why don't you leave it up like this, but where we put the stairs or the ladder, make that go in a bit. Do you know what I mean? Like maybe just half the boards, because it's okay if it comes out here. Maybe if you just take down some of the boards.
Is that what you want?
Oh, we can do that, yeah. Because, I mean, the more storage the better, because we could also put the chicken feed in here.
Alright. Alright, so yeah, I'll just come back on these ones, I guess.
Problem solved. High five. Also, what's today?
Today is our 15th anniversary of meeting each other.
Of being together.
Being togetherness.
Yes, we
Nice.
yeah, no, 15 years of knowing each other. That's good.
Oh, I mean.
My battery's gonna die. I gotta go change it out. Why are you yelling at me? You want some treats? Come on. Come on. Oh, you want to wait for it? Yeah. So these guys are trained now to know that as soon as I come in here, they know what that is. And they'll start jumping up on me as soon as I have it in my hand, like a dog. Yeah. You gonna do it? Yeah, there you go. Some for you. Oh, there, go find some. So they've really warmed up to us. They let us pet them. They're still a bit skittish sometimes, but we also just, you know, we've been giving them a lot of love. We dewormed them this week, so I had to give them their first injection. And one of the neighbors showed us how, so thank you. So I've noticed this guy's putting on a bit more weight since then, so that's awesome. And they're doing really good, and they love us. Thank you guys. Oh, and this one is Malcolm, and this one is Aiden. Oh, hi guys. Here. There you go. Now that's it. Now go. Okay, that's it. No more. You have hay. Aww. Yes. Lots of loves, eh? You guys might like the scratches because of all the bugs, huh? I'm really glad that we got to know these guys a little bit and got them to warm up a little bit to us and to the barn, because in June hi buddy, in June we're actually going to pick up another male and a female. So the male isn't going to be Nigerian dwarf, the male is going to be a pygmy. And so we'll have 2 intact males, 1 female, and what's that?
He's sneezing.
Yeah, he does that sometimes when he goes into the hay.
A goat with hay fever?
I guess, I don't know. But the female is also, they're both black and white, but the female is Nigerian, and she is going to be 4 months old when we pick her up. And they're both black and white, and I can't wait. So that's why Mike's working on the loft. We're also going to do a little bit of division in the barn so that they can be separated. And then we're going to give them each their own little pen. So guys on one side, girls on the other. And then they can all be housed in here during the winter. So, hi buddy. So that they can keep each other warm. But they'll all have their own little sections, and we're going to do what we did with the chickens so that they have a little bit of outdoor space as well. We're going to make another door for the males, and then we're going to put like a little bit of an enclosure so that they can get out. And then in the winter, we'll house the chickens here too. So they can all stay warm together in this little mini barn.
So what I've realized is that through the winter, having, I don't know if you could see the enclosure there, it's all screened in. We did that for them through the summer. I turned it into basically a greenhouse by plasticking it off through the winter, and it kept everything nice and warm for them, gave them lots of sunshine and an area to go out and graze, so they weren't cooped up just in the barn or their little chicken coop. So what I want to try and do is recreate that in here so that all the animals can have it. Eventually what I want to do is, like she was saying, we're going to put another door, little mini goat door over here so that we can separate the males and the females. And then we've already planned it out, put it down on paper. So we're going to put a fence all along on one side for females and fence on the other side for the males. And the chickens will just be, I guess, in the middle, or we didn't ever talk about the chickens.
They can be with whoever they want to be.
But
they can fly around to each little stall.
Then
something.
I'll take all this fencing down because it's kind of temporary, just to give them an enclosure now. And we'll make something a little more permanent that I can put plastic up and down for the season. And I'll just roll it up kind of like you would on a camper trailer or something. And hopefully that works. And that's the plan so far.
Yeah.
But
even if they have just a little space outside in the winter, they have that choice to go outside if they want to get that UV. That's why another reason why we put windows in is so that they can get sunlight.
yeah.
Because that's one thing you find, like, I mean, even us cooped up in the winter can be long and hard, which winters are. But if they just don't like snow. I know that about these guys. They don't like snow, so give them a little bit of sunshine with some ground.
Yeah.
Here is an update on the garden area. So we took out our plum tree. We got to put it down in the holler. Another wonderful neighbor came and dug up all our stumps. You can see some of them here, and they're gonna come back once we clean up all these little twigs and stuff and branches. They're gonna come back and dig this ground up and kind of level it off just a little bit like they did over here. And then next week we are just going to build our raised beds and fill them and get them going. We are super late. You don't plant here until like the first week of June, so even though we have a lot of nice warm weather right now, but that is what's what for our garden. I was gonna do my garden here, but we are gonna make all of this probably next year. We're gonna prep it a little bit in the fall, but all of this is gonna be like field of grass or crop for the goats. But yeah, so this is, we took down all these trees, Mike did, and that's what that big brush pile is. So if you remember, you come up the driveway, there used to be, if I find a clip, I'll put it in here. There used to be a whole row of trees right here, and we took it up so we can put a greenhouse and a garden area in. So we bounced lots and lots of different ideas around, and I'm glad we didn't make anything permanent until we stayed here a while. I love that all the animals are kind of together on one side. We're gonna have the gardening on another. The greenhouse is obviously gonna be moved, and we're gonna move it over to the area. But this just leaves a lot more openness so that we also have more choices, more lawn. But I mean, I say lawn, but I want it to be a place where the goats can graze. And we're just kind of thinking things out a lot, putting through different scenarios. And yeah, so. Oh, it looks like I got to get in and water all my plants, even though I watered them yesterday. It's been really, really unseasonably hot, which I'm not complaining. They got to go in the ground very, very soon, but they're all doing pretty good. Look at my onions. I got to get them in the ground right here. But it got so hot that we actually had to cut this side of the greenhouse and roll it up during the day. And I got to try to keep all these plants alive until we get our garden in the ground, or until we can get stuff in the ground. But look, some of my tiny tomatoes, they're flowering, and I love it. This is our plum tree. We got to go put it down in the holler before it's too late. I know I won't get anything off it this year because we've disturbed it, but look at all of the blossoms coming on that. Some more tomatoes here, doing really well. Gotta water them again. So little bit by little bit, as we say in our intro, getting there one day at a time. This week has been a little bit of a tough week. It's been a roller coaster. Mike's dad was admitted to the hospital, and he had to undergo emergency surgery. And I've asked Mike if it's okay to say that, but if you're a prayer kind of person, just keep him in your prayers. He's doing much better, and he's on the mend, so that's good. No, he doesn't have the sickness that is going around right now. It's something entirely different, but he did have to undergo emergency surgery, and he is on the up and up, but keep the prayers coming. Another thing on the same day, actually, another thing that happened was 2 of our children live in Midland, Michigan. And Midland, Michigan, if you haven't heard, I know it made national news, that whole area of Sanford, Midland, and I think Edenville, 2 dams were breached, 1 broke. There's lakes that are completely drained, and houses that were floating in water, and everything was just underwater. And at one point I think I heard that Midland was under 9 feet of water. Thankfully both of the girls are safe, and the older of the 2, her house is safe. She just purchased a home not too long ago, so it's safe. But of course Mike and I were very, very worried. Another thing that really plays on, I don't want to get emotional, but I might, is you don't know how far, like when Mike's father was in the hospital, and you don't realize how far away. So Mike was able, if he wants, he could go to the States. If he had to go, he can go to the States because he's American. I wasn't able to go, or I won't be able to go because I'm Canadian. And I understand it, I do. It just sucks. And because he's a permanent resident here, he's able to come back. And I am being swarmed by dragonflies. But you just don't realize how far, not even the distance is fine, but how borders divide. Of course, like I told Mike, just go, and he is probably going to go next week, but that's also scary too. So I couldn't go help the girls because I'm Canadian. I couldn't go visit my father because I'm Canadian. And I'm not, I don't want to sound like I'm saying something, because I'm not. You just don't realize how borders actually divide until you don't have a choice. I know it's going to come to an end. I know it's going to stop. I know I'm going to be able to go back to Michigan again. But of course, when something happens and you want to run and you can't, you get hurt, you get sad, you get mad. And I went through all those phases, you know, and Mike's going to go next week. And I wish that I could go, but as soon as the travel bans are lifted, I'm gonna go. And Mike won't complain because he'll get to go to Michigan again. But it just sucked for a minute. So, but if you can keep him in your prayers, both him and the girls and extended family and friends from that area of Midland and Sanford, yeah, many people lost their homes. Many people lost their cottages. Many people lost a lot. So, yeah. So be grateful for what you have. I couldn't imagine. I just couldn't imagine. First of all, the pandemic that's going on. And second of all, losing everything. Do you know what I mean? So, everybody, this is Georgia. Georgia just came to us. She's the teeny kitten. She's beautiful. And she is eventually going to be a barn cat. So that she can kill all the mice and things. But right now we're just getting her used to us. And oh, these bugs. She's been exposed to chickens and dogs and pigs. So she's good in that aspect. She's used to all the different farm animals. But her name is Georgia, like I said. And the reason behind that name is it's gonna sound silly, but I always wanted to go to Georgia and pick a Georgia peach. And it doesn't look like that's happening anytime soon. So for now, this is the Georgia peach that I got to pick. She's done very well. She's fit right in. The dogs, they chase her around. Well, 2 of them. But the other ones, they don't pay much attention. And they kind of actually, one of them, Brody, looks out for her. So I'm going to go in because these bugs are crazy and the mosquitoes are just at me. So on that note, I hope you guys have a wonderful day and you're still staying safe. As always, until next time, take care.